Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my rootinest, tootinest, the latest lover, the men want to be her, the one and only Karen. What's going on?
Nothing much. I wanted to shout out to you. I wanted to tell you thank you. I was over here skirgling trying to get in the Crowdcast, and Crowdcast was like, "Yep." and I have a love hate relationship with technology because I love technology and the things it can do, but I get irritated when the shit don't do what it's supposed to do, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, just do what you're supposed to do, and right, and I know it's a personal hang up that I have, but a lot of times by the time I ask Roger for help, I'm frustrated a lot of times. I'm like, I've tried everything, and Roger come over here and he makes me feel stupid. But I mean, put like this: he don't make me feel stupid. I just feel inadequate when I'm like, well, I could have figured it out, but then I really couldn't have figured it out. But it was just really, really irritating. And shout out to you being IT and figuring out something. And then you was like, it's this. And then I was like, well, shit, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you do get very frustrated with stuff when it doesn't work. I think a couple of things. One, this is why I'm not that worried about AI technology and all this stuff that I'm not trying to be a dick, but I feel like everybody's doom saying this AI shit and I don't even worry about it because it's not, it does, your normal shit don't work. And
Right.
people just forget how often normal shit just don't work. Your Apple Maps don't work. Your fucking
Yeah.
Twitter don't work.
Yeah, we did Apple Maps, and Apple Maps took us to the back of the building and was like, "You are here." I was like, "Bitch, we at the back."
It's just a lot of times that happens and we just don't think about it. Everyone gets so doom and gloom. Oh, we're gonna die. The computers, the computers, even if they wanted to kill us, they're gonna fuck it up for so long.
Ah!
Anyway, the second part is you get frustrated. I try to, be patient and not putting pressure on you. Like I think you came in here for like 20, 30 minutes where you were working on it, and I just wasn't like, hurry up, you need to, what's wrong? It's just like, all right, you'll figure it out. And I try to
Mm-hmm.
give you space to do that. And then the third thing, and then, so, and I get that it's frustrating because it's in that time you're trying whatever and it's not working. But the other thing is, I didn't really figure anything out that you weren't doing. It's clearly some type of issue with Twitter and logging into Crowdcast for some reason. I don't know. May need to erase the cookies. Might have to turn the computer on and off. I don't know. But when it came to using Firefox and trying to log into Crowdcast, it wouldn't let you use Twitter. And my guess is that's an Elon Musk issue. That's probably some
Yes.
shit that he got um fucked up because a lot of companies have been sending out emails and stuff like Twitter won't let us use I forget what it's called, like API or something, but they
Mm-hmm.
won't let us basically use the things that every other fucking website does that lets us connect Twitter to our website.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten so many emails about that over
Yeah.
because we do stuff for the podcast. We get stuff from our website. Hey, you're not gonna be able to do this. Programs that just let you share links. We don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. They'll even tell you it's going to shut down, and a lot of those things never shut down. They actually still work right now. But it's the uncertainty because you got
Right.
companies taking out this interface. They can't rely on it. I had and then also companies are trying to divest from some of these social media platforms because the platforms steal information. So you'll get like an email. Everyone's gotten this at some point. Hey, we're not using Facebook anymore, and they don't
Yeah.
really tell you why, but then you kind of figure out when, Facebook, Cambridge Analytica, a bunch of shit. Motherfuckers probably scared to use them. So anyway, I don't think it was anything with your fault. The only thing I did different was I logged into Chrome where you're still logged into Twitter and just went to Crowdcast that way. And it worked.
Right. Then I was
So I
like,
didn't do anything
that
special or
goddamn browser. That's what took me down.
yeah. So I think, and I feel the same way. I have anxiety. I get in my head about things sometimes, but I think more and more I'm just learning to use my inner voice to shut that shit down because
Right.
I'm not mad. The audience isn't mad. Everything's gonna be okay. They were in here listening to music, jamming.
Yes.
We're gonna start. It's gonna be fine. So to me, it was really
No.
nothing to be stressed about, and figuring out how to to get it going or whatever. It's pretty simple. And now next time if it happens, or we'll try some new things. But it sounds like something's up with that Firefox browser Twitter interface. It won't let you log in. So
Yay. So I actually feel bad. I just want to tell you that I really do appreciate you just for being patient and all that type of stuff. And
no problem. Could have happened to me. Could have happened to anybody.
it means a lot. Like you said, you learn and you go, okay, I see what's happening and I can kind of figure it out from there. But like you say, yeah, it's gonna be a long time for AI does anything damaging, because I know it's a lot of other people out there like me that just want shit to do what it said it's gonna do.
I'm just not worried about it in that way. And I think some of that is our anxiety. Some of that is us, doom saying. It's one of the reasons it's huge on Twitter, and people spend a lot of time on Twitter. And so you see a lot of like, it's gonna do this. Maybe at some point, but we're just not even. To me, we're not even close to that yet. The deep fake technology isn't there yet. The artificial intelligence technology isn't there yet. And a lot of what I think people really are worried about is the gullibility of their fellow citizen, and they're gonna fall. Oh, they're gonna fall for this. This is so irresponsible. They're gonna fall for this. And the greed of the corporate class of CEOs and stuff. They're worried that they'll push stuff out even if it's not ready, just to get rid of the human capital and be like, well, we're just gonna pay this. We're just gonna pay a fee and have AI do it or whatever. I've seen some nightmare stories. I saw one about like possibly like a suicide prevention hotline or something like that, or uh, getting AI to do it instead of people. And I didn't even click on the link yet because I'm sure that it's happening, but I'm also sure that that's not gonna work. Like, and you're talking about literal suicide prevention shit. So who knows? Like that could be the thing that sets somebody off. Figuring out that talking to a fucking chat bot or something. But yeah, I don't think we're there yet. The writer strike, everyone's you can't replace us with AI, and I'm sure it'll be in the contracts and all this stuff. But I also think the threat of the AI generated show is a threat that is mostly empty, in that it takes humans to make human shows and people will notice. Even what we call AI right now isn't truly innovative artificial intelligence that is creating new thought. It is imitating and combining thoughts of everyone that they've scanned off the internet. And so anyway, not that that's a huge tangent, but
I get you, and I completely understand that concept. And Terminator is I be gone years, decades in the future before we get anything like that.
Yeah, I made a joke on Twitter that according to the AI stuff, the AI with the writer strike, the next Terminator sequel will be written by Skynet.
That's what they're gonna name the next version of Chat GPT. Just gonna be Skynet.
Yeah. Anyway, Joe Byron and them passing the debt ceiling, so that's happening. This motherfucker, boy, I swear to God,
nobody else but him. Because
this old white man be old white man in like a motherfucker.
Ooh, child, everything be bouncing off of him.
Like this, I was like, I guess they're gonna, not even on him. I just was like, it's gonna end up being shut down because there's a contingent of Republican members of the House, not the Senate, that are so virulently opposed to governing.
Right. It's like, well, bitch, we got to pay our bills. We can't not pay our bills. The fuck is this?
So I figured they would just be against whatever was decided because for their personal brand, it makes them look good and they don't care about the pain of the country. And so I was like, oh, this may be the thing that Joe Biden can't get done just because McCarthy doesn't have control of his people. They have control of him, and it's the most extreme people that basically rule and tell him what he gonna do. And yeah, so far it's looking like it's gonna pass and go to the Senate. So
let's go.
Fuck. I mean, and of course the most extreme Dems will, I'm sure, knock Joe Biden for any level of compromise he had to make. But these compromises were written in stone last year when motherfuckers didn't come out to vote. And when they let the House switch, because whatever fucking reasoning they had that was dumb, when they decided to let the House flip, this was written in stone. It didn't flip as hard as people thought, which is probably why we got something passed. But despite everybody being wrong about how hard it was going to flip and how bad Democrats get their ass flipped and the Senate not flipping, you still put us in a terrible position. So it's going to end up with the most extreme Democrats complaining or whatever, grandstanding, especially if they think they can grandstand without completely destroying the bill passing. But yeah, it's just a pain in the ass that these motherfuckers are even still trying to pretend like this is a two-sided issue.
Right.
If we would have had a Democratic House, we wouldn't have had to compromise on shit.
Nope.
And that's just the facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, all right, let's get into some news. Let me see, what kind of news should we do? Let's do some LGBTQ news. It's been a couple days.
Listen, did we even do it?
Let me see what you want to be. You better.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Did we even do a proper intro? I'm sorry.
I said the rootin' and tootin' is.
Okay. I just want to be sure.
All right.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news. I try to take us down, but we still around. We let it get. I try to still shine, but we on the ride. We let it. Cause you can't do what we're about to do. We let it. Black guy, LGBTQ news.
Yep. I love to see it though. I mean, listen. That ceiling. Let's go. All right, LGBTQ news. I'm sorry, Taser Boulevard Stream. LGBTQ news. Apparently the conservatives are just boycotting everything and about gay people, LGBTQ people. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's about to be Pride Month. So they have galvanized so much political force and will that they are now doing this thing of they want to make this the big societal issue. Abortion is they've won that as far as they're concerned. And it's no longer the galvanizing issue, especially for white evangelical, white supremacist Christians, conservatives. So now they're saying anything gay. We saw what they did to Target, and Target put out this statement. I was in Target today. Gay shit everywhere. They didn't take nothing down except probably the tuck back swimsuit or some shit. And it's such a ridiculous thing that we're in this cultural war or whatever. But we're all navigating it as good people. We have to navigate these fucking batshit bananas assholes, right?
Right.
And so like a company like Target puts out a statement but doesn't really take anything down, doesn't stop doing pride stuff. And I'm like, good. I'm glad they did it. I'm mad that we live in a world where they even have to be like, yeah. We hear you. We're gonna take down that swimsuit, everybody. You won. And they go, yeah, we won. And it's like, you're all fucking stupid. You don't really care, and you don't, and you're never gonna win this battle. Them taking on corporate culture is the dumbest fucking battle, but they're gonna do it because companies are going to always be places that have diverse slates of people throughout the world, that they want the best of the best and the brightest of the brightest. And that doesn't mean just white people, that means everybody.
Right.
So they're gonna always end up resourcing from communities that, for whatever reason, then there's government incentives to do it. There's a bunch of PR incentives to do it. So the latest one is, this is such a 360-degree moment from the beginning of our podcast. They want to boycott Chick-fil-A.
What? Didn't they give Chick-fil-A one of their largest sales grossing ever because they went up there by the fucking busload a few years ago?
I remember when it was discovered that Dan Cathy, CEO of Chick-fil-A, I think he's dead now, prayers down, but he was giving money to just anti-LGBTQ causes globally and stuff. And so there was a big debate about boycotting it and what that really means and all this shit, and a lot of people, it was a good way to kind of get some good moral points and be like, well, I don't eat Chick-fil-A, and this, I'm not knocking it to this day, everyone has their thing,
Right.
but the point is, conservative people saw it the other way and were like, now I'm going to give money to Chick-fil-A. It was kind of funny to think about it in hindsight, because activism at that time was like gay people kissing in front of a Chick-fil-A and straight people getting in the line to eat Chick-fil-A, and all of it was weird in a way, because Chick-fil-A as a company is totally different than Chick-fil-A Dan Cathy CEO.
Correct. And companies are not people, no matter what they say. And it's also one of those things where Republicans, I forgot, didn't one of them senator, governors, somebody had Chick-fil-A in front of him while he signed the fucking fucked up bill?
Greg Abbott, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, it was, and it is disgusting. When I see stuff like that, it does make me be like, I'm not gonna eat there for a while. And it is Chick-fil-A. Eventually, I will go back and eat some Chick-fil-A. It's not. I don't even know what to tell you.
I'm not even.
But the point being, like, it became a political situation where conservatives were holding them up as the ideal. But the company, if you know people that work at Chick-fil-A, if you've ever been to a Chick-fil-A, they have the nicest service. The people inside almost always don't just represent the community, but like it's almost ridiculous. Like, where did they even find these fucking people in the community?
That's what I want to
know. They're all chipper, they're all diverse, and I mean that sexual orientation, I mean that style of clothes, all this shit. Just they're all fucking really different, but nice and professional. And I don't know what they do that the other stores don't do. I've never even asked. But my point being, it was obvious that they run a different type of company than Dan Cathy's political leanings are. They've never been a place where you go in there as a black. This isn't Cracker Barrel where you go in there as a black person and feel like, oh fuck, I don't know. This isn't. If you're gay and you go to Chick-fil-A, you don't feel in danger.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's just so weird that conservatives. What's the disconnect that they have, that they thought this was like a company that wouldn't hire a VP of diversity, equity, and inclusion? Because that's why they're boycotting. Chick-fil-A hired a VP of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and now conservatives are like, man, fuck them. They going woke. We're not gonna eat there.
Right, because they don't believe in inclusion. And so I don't know why people think these is two sides, because a lot of times the shit they be arguing about is diversity. They argue about things that are different, things that aren't white, things that aren't, straight. But it's two sides. No, it's not two sides to this conversation.
This is very weird. Anyway, so I guess they're not eating Chick-fil-A now. Some part of me feels it's like deeply, darkly comedic how capitalism is our activism in America. There's something deeply dark and cynical in me that even when it's something I believe in, I'm like, fuck, this is all we really got, ain't it? This capitalism. Because how do we separate ourselves as good people? As well, I don't use Amazon. I use the companies that take an extra week to get it to me because I want to be a good person. Amazon is bad. And then like, okay, cool. Yes, I was eating Chick-fil-A today as I was not getting my Amazon. And I'm not, this is not a knock on, like I got you. It's all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if it's you got something that you like, I don't fuck with that. But in some other area, you had to push that aside for whatever reason. And I guess I'm tired of everybody stunting on each other with it.
Right.
Like I'm a better person because I could never. Well, who gives a fuck? You do something.
Yes, you do.
You do something because you here.
Right. That's the thing. You being here. There's something that you buy, something that you invest in, something that you watch, something that you consume, something that you listen to. If you dig down and get into it, it's gonna be something wrong with it. Everybody draw their lines at different places. People talk about certain things, but then you have something from my iPhone. And it's one of those things where there are some things I go, okay, but then there are some things I'm like, nigga, I'm not gonna live in the middle of the woods. So what are we talking about here?
I don't know. We personalize everything, but I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. But it just, when you see conservatives, what's wrong?
So my screen keep going black.
Okay. Well, I can see you on the screen.
Okay.
But whenever you see like conservatives doing this, it just, I don't know, points out the hypocrisy and ridiculousness of it all and the futility of it all. Because Chick-fil-A ain't going nowhere, and these motherfuckers lying. Because if the liberal people were lying, for the most part, I know you, special snowflake listening, you've never eaten Chick-fil-A since the second you heard about it. But
good for you.
The vast majority of motherfuckers must have been lying because they stay in business and they still be closed on Sundays because they don't need a seventh of the money. And you can't brainwash me into thinking that, that's not a big deal. So yeah, the fact that they do that and run it that way, they clearly are fucking winning, even with the people that said they were done for the other reasons. So I think they'll be fine. But
they'll be just fine. And a lot of times people just be talking, and these are things to make them feel good, and so they can judge other people and not look at their own lives. Because when people go, you do something fucked up, everybody wants their things to be an exception to the rules.
PetSmart is the most recent company to face backlash over their pride theme products. PetSmart.
With the animals?
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna have rainbow colored goods like dog bikinis, butterfly cat leashes, and reptile cape costumes.
Yeah, I mean, they're animals.
Right. So now they're gonna.
I mean, does the dogs come out and say they're gay? I don't understand.
Right. I don't know, and I don't just like gay people have pets.
Right.
Straight people might just want a rainbow on their pet. It don't seem like
I like rainbows. I don't know. I wear rainbows. I like rainbows. I like the color. Roy G. Biv. It's one of my favorite things. But it's like one of the things where, you wear it, all of a sudden you making a statement. How about I just like rainbows sometimes? It ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
It is honestly just insane that motherfuckers are this pressed over this shit. Like something is deeply, deeply wrong with a lot of people in our country, and that they will get riled up about this. I think, and maybe, I know sometimes I'm so slow to get mad and slow to come down in righteous anger over shit.
Right.
And it's mostly because I'm just tired of the constant
the
constant stimuli and the constant baiting towards our anger.
Yeah, I can't stand that mode. It wears you out. I can't do it.
Yeah, and so I'm more cautious of it. And normally if I'm too slow to whatever, I'm not hip to whatever, somebody will hit me up. Hey, you probably didn't know this part or whatever, or maybe hopefully if it's somebody that actually knows me and gives a fuck, they'll pull me to the side like, hey, so this is what you're missing. But in general, it's just like a lot of this stuff is using us. And I would like to take these two stories and just, for the people that listen to our podcast that probably are against this kind of shit, just think about the shit that you're being pushed towards anger with too. Because I can see how silly these motherfuckers look. And it's mostly because I disagree with them that it's easy to be like, well, that's just fucking stupid. But I think we have things that it's not equal. It doesn't happen as often. It's not the same. But I think we have things on our side too that a lot of times we're pushed towards anger and a lack of thought and a joining together in misery. And we're all going to do this thing together. We're all going to be upset together. And I don't know, it's worth stopping to think about and be like, is this really something I need all the time? And what does it say that I want this type of camaraderie? Because when I look at them and I see what I really see is a lot of lonely people that want to be unified together via the internet and social causes coming together, a lot of unhappy people with the way that the world is changing, the way whiteness is being reduced in power in some instances, the way that they see themselves disappearing from the podium that they have had the only, the right to, quote unquote. and then they're flipping the fuck out. So it makes me think about all that stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
oh yeah, oh yeah. And also I think for me when you're talking about the anger piece, it's one of those things where when things happen or I read things online, sometimes I be like, "Oh, what is the true rate from 1 to 10? Like how important is this?" And all jokes aside, I am the type of person. There's some shit that people be outraged, and I'll be like, I don't give a fuck, and I literally keep on going. And sometimes because you can't opt into everything, sometimes you literally have to opt out. You just don't have the bandwidth. And people that are always in that mode want you to always be in that mode, but you'll eventually burn out. So sometimes I see shit, I go, okay, somebody else do it today, because everything that happens isn't meant for you to pour all of your personal energy into. You have a limited amount of energy that you have for all the things in life. Your spouse, your children, your loved ones, your significant others, like real things in your everyday to day life. And if you take a percentage of that and pour it into shit, outside or online and shit like that, then when these real things come, you're burnt out and you don't have the bandwidth to actually deal with the things happening around you, because the energy that you would have poured in that, you poured it somewhere else.
yeah, I saw this story yesterday about it's a I think a chapter from an upcoming book, and it was about Damon Lindelof and Lost, the TV show from oh man, that show. How old is that show? I'll look it up, but it's a great article. It was in like Vanity Fair, and I think it's just a chapter from this book. But it was about how toxic the culture of the show was. It Lost had 121 episodes. It says it was on from 2004 to 2010. It had 6 seasons, writer strike during it, all that stuff. I still think the ending wasn't that good, but
Probably because of the strike, right?
partially, but reading this article actually illuminates a bunch of other stuff. Like they had a lot of writer
Mm.
turnover. The culture in the room seemed very like toxic. It seemed that the comedy and the humor they prefer was very like racially charged, and people would make comments within the room, and they had diversity in the room, but it wasn't really inclusion. It was a lot of you're black, we need a black person here. But the second you start saying, speaking up, doing the job that they hired you for, to be like, well, this is how this will look to black people, they come down on you. And they were firing people in a soft firing kind of way in many cases, where it's like a plausible deniability. They don't say, I don't like that you keep bringing up this black shit, you're fired. They just go, yeah, we're not bringing you back next season.
Right.
And so it sucked. It just sounds like it sucked. But the original thing I read wasn't a full 39-minute Vanity Fair thing. It was some article from like a nerd website that said like, Damon Lindelof apologizes for his role in Lost Toxic Culture or something. And so I'm reading his mea culpa, whatever his, and I mean, to be frank, I thought it was a pretty good mea culpa. That was, hey, it's on me. I was inexperienced in running something, even though he was 30. I'm sorry, people that have never really run shit. If you've never run shit, it wouldn't matter if you're 50. It wouldn't matter if you're 100.
It's hard.
You're gonna fuck something up because you're human,
Right.
and that's what human beings do.
And experienced in this thing.
Yeah, and I know that people want to find a way into the industry. I get it, but even if it's a black person, even if it's a woman, even if it's a gay person, whoever, the person at the top is human. They are fallible. They will make mistakes. The difference is when you're in charge, your mistakes affect other people.
Right.
And like every writer on the show wasn't perfect, I'm sure, but the writers affect less people with the bad decisions they make. If you're running a show, you just hurt some people's careers, a bunch of shit. That being said, the stuff he did was, I think fucked up and basically inexcusable. There's a lot of like allowing the tenor of the room to be like racially regressive, and the comedy and all that stuff. And and being in a room now, having done that 2 years, I do think a lot of stuff in the article was painted in the harshest light possible. Like there was a time where like there was a sentence where she literally put the word jokes in quotes. It was like jokes about such and such. And it was like, no, you didn't need quotes on that. They were joking about that thing. Now that still doesn't mean it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're joking, you don't have to put quotes on it. But yeah, they probably weren't being serious, but yeah, it's fucked up. The point being, so I read the nerd version that's just his apology. And I said, oh, okay, well, you know what? People do fuck up. The angle that interested me was not the I want to shit on Damon Lindelof, because Damon Lindelof is a dude I've heard on For Our Nerds be interviewed, and a guy that really at this point seems to have either kind of been humbled, or now of course this is what 20 years later, but he's either been humbled or he's just learned a lot about what he didn't know. And even when people try to praise him and stuff, he's very like, well, that's for other people to decide. I can't really say for myself that I'm this great guy.
Right.
And I always wondered about that because I didn't know about this till yesterday. So I was like, man, why is he so like, I don't know. It's like he don't even want to take credit for his shit, you know? And now I'm like, oh yeah, because I don't know, he know what he fucked up. So it's hard to be excited about how good Watchmen was and how much black people liked it, knowing that in the background somewhere there's black people that fucking mad at you from 20 years ago that worked for you. So, you know, at least that's my interpretation of the situation. But the point being, like, so I read the first thing and I was like, okay, you know, he learned, okay, so he's learned or whatever. He's got a chance to apologize. He's gone on to run all these other rooms and be successful on these other shows, The Leftovers, and Watchmen are two of the most well received, critically acclaimed, black people love them shows. You know, a certain type of black people love those fucking shows. You know, I've read New York Times black critics who have loved Watchmen so much and shitted on Lovecraft Country, right? Like, if you say you like Lovecraft Country on Twitter to this day, there's a group of certain type of black people that will hop in your mentions and try to like tear you down and tell you Misha Green ain't shit and she should never work again, basically. And so the thing that made me think about was Misha Green. There are black people that don't want Misha Green to get the chance Damon Lindelof got.
Right.
And not because she did a great job on the you've never heard a word about Underground or any problems in that room ever, right? She moved on to this bigger project with Lovecraft Country. Some of the issues that fell at her feet were issues of you clearly she didn't know shit about them. Like, you know, they put a actress, a light-skinned black woman in blackface to take photos for a background picture that was in one of the scenes. And I'm like, now I don't know how much y'all know about the set, but she didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But you still see people like Misha Green let people do blackface, and you're like, huh, okay, all right. There's the story about the non-binary indigenous person that was killed in the plot of the show, and people were very upset by that. And she actually did go back and be like, yeah, we shouldn't have did that, and I wasn't thinking about that in the first season. I fucked that up. To me, okay, that's what you want, right? No, they don't want her to ever work again. She's a bad person. And my thing is, Damon Lindelof ran this room. For the most part, we only knew about Harold Perrineau being upset with the show and his portrayal of his black character. We only knew about that for the last 20 years. That's it. And he's gotten to work and he's been fine and moved on to project, and it hasn't like dogged him. It hasn't, and it didn't stop him from being critically acclaimed and loved and beloved from many black people that loved his shows. And yet, you know, I'm like, why can't Misha Green get that chance to improve or to do better or do different work? How do we know we're not 10 years from her? Hey, I learned my lessons from things that I fucked up when I was running the show. I didn't know how to do everything, but look at me now. Bam, bam, bam. And I think that's where I think about the anger thing, you know, because for me, I was like, I'm not even really mad at Lindelof. I get how you can fuck that up. Mm-hmm. Then this shout out to Shanna. I think it was Shanna. But somebody hit me up and it was like, oh yeah, also here's the full piece, because I hadn't read the full piece at the time. I just read his apology. I was like, I don't know, it's good enough apology for me. But then you read about like the things that were happening in that room. It's like the motherfuckers was wild. So it wasn't like sexual assault type stuff, but it was very like, you know, you invite a black person in, you invite a woman in or whatever. Anytime they complain, they gotta go. And eventually the message gets out. Basically, the main characters are gonna be the white people. The white actors got paid the most. That doesn't seem like a showrunner thing, but once again, people don't. I mean, that's the only issue with this chapter of the book is that I'm reading. I probably won't get the book because I feel like to a certain extent there is a requirement of honesty and fairness that I need in my critiques. So a showrunner doesn't really determine which actor gets paid the most. They don't negotiate those contracts.
Right. That's yeah. They're not involved in that process.
Right. So to say the white people made the most money, that's also somehow on Lindelof and the other dude that was running shit. That's not necessarily fair because they may or may, like, you need to confirm that, I guess is what I'm saying. I need to know that they were the ones who said, yeah, we're gonna do that. But you know, or at least make the different connection of, well, they may not have negotiated those contracts, but putting these actors in the main roles would have affected which actors get paid the most. You know, I think there's like just a paragraph or something to say that. But anyway, it was just, I thought it was like an interesting article, but the most thing I noticed is from the commentary, we were all supposed to rage out. It's the rage, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm talking so long, but another one, Taylor Swift got a boyfriend now. New boyfriend. Okay. She dropped her old boyfriend.
Hey.
Her new boyfriend is like a singer. He has a podcast. Okay. On his podcast, he's a white dude that has said, you know, white dude shit. Not, I don't know everything he's ever said. I just know what's going. People are trying to tar and feather him with. And so apparently he made a comment about getting caught jacking off the porn of like a black woman getting degraded, you know, humiliated, all this stuff. And so people have been going around like, this is what Taylor Swift, it's on her for some reason, not him, really. Like, she's the bad person. That should be the number one thing she's concerned about. And anytime her name is brought up, I'm seeing the same corny niggas doing their I hate Taylor Swift thing, which, let's be frank, they always were going to do it. It don't matter what she says it does. They always do it. To me,
she on the list somewhere.
Yeah, to me, it's just corny. I don't know what it's really based on. And even this gotcha shit, it's like, we don't reserve this energy for Megan Good. We don't reserve this energy for Meghan Markle, who married a dude that did a Nazi costume. And they're like, he apologized. And when the last time y'all accepted an apology? Right. So it's like we give passes to the people we want to give passes to. Fine. Many women that are iconic to people have married or dated men that are just, to many people, beneath them or have shortcomings or failings or whatever, things that make you mad. You know, Jay-Z punched a woman backstage at a concert. I don't, you know, Khalees accused Nas of all kinds of shit. Like, we have our, you know, it's not her fault is you know, whatever. Like, we have our people we give a pass to, they're with this person and that's not really a reflection of them. That's just who they're dating. When Karrueche Tran was dating Chris Brown, we weren't like, Karrueche Tran, you a bad person. It was like, okay, when he does her dirty, we got her back, you know? But not for her for some reason. But even with the porn thing, I was like, so he's watching consensual adult humiliation porn. I thought we were sex positive. I thought sex work was work. I thought we don't kink shame. It feel like y'all cherry picking because the rage. We need to be enraged at all times.
At all times.
I just don't really care.
Right. And
about this woman's dating life in a way that I would let it make me upset, you know?
Yeah, it's not worth it. And it's one of those things, like I said before, people burn both ends of their candles when they're like this. Like you burning one end and you turn around and you light the other end, and eventually, just like I said, you're just gonna burn yourself out. And it's one of those things where when you were talking about Misha Green, and sometimes it frustrates me a lot when it comes to the rage machine, because the rage machine and people that are deep into it, there always has got to be something or someone or a person, place, a thing has always got to go into this machine, and you don't care, and the machine will actually eat up its own. The machine will actually turn against everything it says that it actually wants if it's nothing else for it to consume. So you have a lot of people, they pro black, pro women, pro sisterhood, pro everything, but you know what? Misha Green, so she got to go in the machine. Lizzo, she got, somebody said Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo, you got to go in the machine. You know, whoever it is, you got to go in the machine, because guess what? I don't want the machine to consume me, so I will put other people in the machine. It's very, very frustrating, and it's one of those things where, like I said, me personally, I like, love, and enjoy peace. Your peace of mind is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they don't understand that. But also, I realized as I got older, a lot of people, if they don't have chaos, they're not in peace. But some people, chaos is their peace. Like, peace drives some people nuts. I realized that. Like, everything going normal, nothing's going wrong, there's no chaos. For some people, that's considered boring. For some people, there's nothing exciting, not exciting going up. They're not falling out with their mate, if they're not fighting with their loved ones, if there isn't something inside of them to get that excitement or that adrenaline rush. This is why people fuss, fight, fuck with their significant other, because there's something in them that actually loves that. And for me, I'm not like that. My peace is valuable, and this is why I don't. Not that I don't get enraged, not that things don't bother me, but I am selective about the things that I pour my rage into.
Right. It's funny because he on this podcast apparently made jokes about Ice Spice, and people were like, "See, why are you with him?" Taylor Swift just did a song with Ice Spice. Ice Spice reached out to Taylor Swift to get her to do the song. So I don't like, it's just more like we needed to be something. He issued like an apology, but he's a joking, like, jokester type of person. So like, even his apology is like him trying to be cute and funny about it. Like, I don't know. It just feels like the 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 need to be angry about it is what is weird to me. I don't think you need to like this person. I mean, it's
That's not a
already weird to
requirement.
parasocially be involved in like the dating lives of these people in a way that affects you personally.
Mhm.
And he tried to like make a commentary out of that, of like, if you really sitting around mad at me and sitting hovering over your computer upset about it, something's off with you. And I do agree with that, but clearly, like, to me, clearly the rage and being around each other via social media is what that really is about to me. So I don't know, it just seems kind of like weird or whatever, that everyone is so upset about it. And like I said, it doesn't really line up with a lot of the stuff people claim to believe, because technically, and this is why I always say on the show, I don't really talk shit about what people are fucking getting turned on by, because I truly don't believe that um that is like says something about you. I really don't think that. I think
No.
it's like if a woman has a sexual assault fantasy, I don't go, well, clearly this means you need to be like, I don't know. If you're in the BDSM, I don't think that means something about you or whatever. I
Right.
just, it doesn't, it's not my fucking business. And it's probably just best that people don't necessarily share that shit just because of the reaction people have. But I don't and the fact that you think that's funny to share or whatever, that probably says something about you. But in general, what people jack off to or jill off to is not something I'm gonna get upset about, as long as
Mm-mm.
it's consenting adults.
Right.
But yeah, it just made me think about that. Sorry, that was way a big tangent out of the news for LGBTQ people, but that's what I've been thinking about these last couple of days we've been off, about outrage and how, I don't know, how prevalent it is and how much people are just constantly being riled up about something.
Yes, and the thing about it, the things that I get outraged about or like truly upset about sometimes, things that I consider me personally serious, because people have poured their anger into other shit. That's the shit that they don't get upset about.
Right.
It's like, oh nigga, you need to be upset about voting. Voting ain't that important. I'm like, bitch, what? That's more important than you hovering over. Is this man? What this man watching a black woman? That's like, voting is fucking more important to that. But to them, because they pour the energy into that, they don't have the energy for the real shit.
Yeah, and Jawan in the chat said, jacking off the black women called nigger bitches. Is that what he said? Is that real, or is that because that's honestly a lot of stuff is being embellished and people are going over the top to make it as bad as possible to get people as upset as possible. So I mean, is that legitimately what's said or what? Because it feels like that's part of what I'm trying to avoid is, and one of the reasons I'm avoiding it is because it seems like the worst way, the thing that will make you the maddest is what people say. But honestly, the same way that when Mano or one of these rappers come out talking about they like white girls calling them the N-word in the bed, and I'm like, yeah, that's not for me. But I don't know. If your ass is into that, that's what you into. Good luck. I don't know why you told everybody that shit.
Right.
So, and I don't know. Maybe it's a delay, but Juwan hadn't answered.
It might be. I think it is.
But all right, let's get into some other news. Boom.
He responded, he said it was ghetto gaggers. That's the thing I heard. But the thing is, I've watched those, and that's not always true.
Yeah, they don't do that, but it's fine. It's still not my type of thing, but correct. No, they don't do that, but I'm not into, that's not my thing.
No, it's not.
But clearly, it's somebody's fucking thing. That fucking series is like 20 years old.
Yes, it is. It's been around forever.
Like,
that is a thing.
For the record, porn will always be hilarious to me. Especially racial shit, because it's so stupid and ridiculous. There's a black porn that now is doing like ghetto gaggers to white women called Black Payback. And the thing that makes me laugh, because like I said, I'm not into this, but the thing that makes me laugh is that the logo for Black Payback is red, black, and green.
Oh no! That's funny. That's hilarious.
Racism is so fucking stupid, man.
It is, ain't it though?
Oh man, I laughed so hard. I was like, it's not for me. But it's just the red, black, and green logo. Like, y'all really think y'all fucking these women for Pan-Africanism? Like, you gonna pay?
Just gonna get us free?
Like, and the titles to the
I bet the titles are ridiculous.
Are always like, it's like, fuck, I wish I could think. It was like MAGA bitch get fucked or something like.
Oh no!
Like,
I'm surprised they ain't call them Karens.
I'm sure one of them is. It's basically Kendrick Lamar's the first time I fucked a white bitch. You know, it's basically that.
Out of nowhere, you were like, where'd this come from?
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so fucking.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, man, all that stuff. And for the record, once again, I don't know who's into it. Somebody clearly is.
Right, because that's what they do.
People obviously are shamed and they're not going to tell you, because look at how people talk about that shit. Mm-hmm. But clearly it's happening, and I don't know what that means or what the fuck. To be honest, I don't know. I don't even know the science, like the science mentally behind what turns people on and how people live. I don't think are what people think. I think if we say a white CEO in the boardroom needs to be humiliated in the bedroom, then clearly we are saying that a lot of people are attracted to the shit that they're disgusted by or something. And so I don't necessarily know what that states, what that really means. But Yeah, I
Somebody said they probably playing sounds of blackness in the background.
dog,
That's good.
dog, I honestly God couldn't finish it. I was like, what is this shit?
As long as you keep
Right.
your head to the sky.
I wish
No.
I wish I could. I'm gonna Google. Man, I hate googling this on my fucking
Go
computer.
fuck up your
I'm just looking for
your
the
research.
titles. I'm just looking for the titles.
That shit gonna pop up. It's like, hey, would you also like this?
Yeah, Human Resource Department. Becky with the nice hair.
With the nice hair.
Miracle Whip Cave Dweller.
What?
Yes, this is
That's hilarious.
Return of the Snow Bunny.
Ah!
Wood in the Hood.
Oh, that's good.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Black one on title is Black History Month.
Like Wood in the Hood.
They got a non-white woman. I guess they ran out that month. White Adjacent is the title of that.
I'm surprised they ain't call it Spicy White.
A Bitch Has No Name. She gonna learn. Like this is
A bitch has no. Oh, that's good.
this is so fucking dumb, dog.
A bitch has no name.
Yeah.
So they tell you right now, don't even ask.
This is so
You know, because
dumb.
somebody always go, for those of you that watch porn, and sometimes they have like the comment section. One of the number one questions go, who is this?
Oh yeah, name, all that shit.
Who
And
is she?
Shout out to the people that leave comments on the porn thing.
And they be knowing the point of source.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we laugh at the people that be leaving comments, but
They be helping.
every once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, so that's her name. How you spell that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Let me go find some of that other work.
I always think about people that make amateur porn and they want to upload it, but they don't want to be like, it's me and my wife. You know, man and his wife have lovely sex or whatever.
Right?
So instead, they have to distance themselves from it and name it like stupid, dumb bitch fucked by a fat man. It's
Because
like,
they know that's what get the clicks.
I don't even think it's about getting the clicks. It's just like, I don't want people to know I actually uploaded this of me and my wife or me and my girlfriend or whatever, unless I'm getting paid on like the amateur site or I'm a, Pornhub professional. I just want to upload an anonymous clip, and part of my kink is the world saw me and fucking this woman, but they never just name it, unless they name it someone's government name, which means it's revenge porn, which is always sad. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Porn is stupid. And I don't know what it says about people, but good luck to everybody.
Good luck to you all.
The CDC links foodborne illnesses to sick restaurant workers. The CDC found that a lot of foodborne illnesses outbreaks are linked back to sick restaurant workers. The agency released a report on Tuesday saying sick employees are major contributors to the spread of foodborne illnesses at restaurants and other food establishments. Yeah, I think about this a lot because we don't have a safety net for health for the people that normally work these hourly tipped jobs.
Yep, they don't get insurance a lot of times. They work them right up underneath it. A lot of times they don't get vacation day, which means you don't work, you don't get paid. A lot of, particularly like a lot of the fast food type of things, and even your upper scale places, normally the service industry, which is, some of the industries that fought a lot of the shit that we have standardized, hey, we want to do minimum wage, but that industry was like, not the tippers, not these people, and that's why they was kind of excluded. That's why, they get paid $3.25 an hour, $2.15 an hour, $4 or some hour, not getting paid well. And also, I remember one time, me and my mama, we had a falling out one time about this. I was working at Shoney's and I was feeling good, and I had went to.
You were feeling good?
I wasn't feeling good, and I was at work. All of a sudden, I just was not feeling good. I don't know if it's something I ate or what, but I wasn't feeling good. So I went home, and dealing with old black people that think you're supposed to just fucking work through everything. Broke leg, work through it. Missing out, work through it. You're like, bitch, I can't work through everything. And so me knowing that I'm at work, working with food, I'm not feeling good, I was like, I don't want to be here. And so when I got home, my mama, she would talk about, me coming home and not feeling good. And I think I was on the phone talking to you. And she came in the room and she was like, well, if you don't feel good enough to go to work, you don't feel good enough to go see Roderick. This is when we was dating. Bitch, by the way, I'm grown. So I'm grown, I'm adult, and the only thing that's preventing me from being an adult is paying this motherfucking rent. Immediately decided right then it was time to go. Because you know, and because that really upset me. Because my thing is that goes back to this. I did not feel good. What good would I have done being there and being sick around fucking food and making other people sick?
Right. And the thing also is, if you've gone out to eat at any point recently, almost everywhere is understaffed.
Yes.
So understaffed means the pressure on these employees to come to work sick is higher. You know? So yeah, they were talking about uh between from 2017 to 2019. So this is kind of before the pandemic. They found out about 40% of foodborne illness outbreaks were known causes were at least partially linked to food contamination by a sick or infectious worker. One incident occurred in 2017 when Chipotle was associated with a norovirus outbreak at its restaurant in Sterling, Virginia, because a staff member came to work sick. Norovirus is a stomach bug that causes vomiting and diarrhea, and was the most common pathogen surrounding foodborne illness outbreaks at restaurants across the country during the years the agency studied the issue. It also accounted for 47% of the 800 outbreaks that the CDC identified, while salmonella accounted for 19%.
And also, this was pre-pandemic. And so you talk about pandemic, you got something where we're breathing each other's faces, and all of a sudden people can go down, people can get sick, people can actually die. People can die from that shit too. But you like kind of cranked it up a notch. And so it's one of those things where I think was a one day me and Roger went out and the place was jumping, and they actually had seating, but they was like, we don't have the staff to actually sit anybody there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that shortage of staff. Because the thing is, this is why, my personal opinion, particularly here in the States and in other countries, they don't tip. I think we just need to abolish tipping, pay people a flat rate, and give them insurance and all these other things. Because it's ridiculous that if I don't feel good, I'm literally forced to come to work. You know, I've worked with people who came to work sick because they say, if I don't come here, I won't make no money today.
Yep. So no, it's just, I think it's interesting. And then of course the managers don't really apply the guidelines and follow them strictly and tell the employees not to come in because the profit motive is in coming into work.
All right.
Even if people get sick, you know, for a lot of people. The pandemic was the first time people even took that shit serious.
Right.
Tasha K has filed for bankruptcy, but she can't afford to pay Cardi B. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Let's see. SZA says she got a BBL because she always wanted a really fat ass with less gym time.
More power to you.
Yep. So she said it's just there to enhance whatever else, and that's why I paid for it, because it works all by itself.
Is SZA the one they had photos of her going down, wrapped up and hanging from the ceiling?
I think so. I don't. SZA. I mean, SZA be showing off. Like,
okay, because I'm about to say
she
looks
be putting
good.
She be putting the body on the ground.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't care how you got it, natural or not. It
yeah,
looks good.
I think the thing that is interesting about the work people get done right now is that there's still a stigma around getting this work done, even when we obviously know that's what happened. And then, you know, it's kind of like how you always see the Kardashians act like they've never really gotten any surgeries, but it's obvious they've gotten surgeries. Stars that we love, we decline to say that they look different. We decline to say it looks like they got work done. It's very taboo because it's like we're saying something morally about them, even though we claim to believe it's your body, you can do what you want. Everybody has their own preferences. Nobody should be able to tell you what to do. We don't shame people, but at the same time, there's something deep down there where I feel like people don't really believe that shit, because her saying this is like something people may applaud or whatever, but there'll be somebody that'll talk shit about her at some point. There'll be somebody. It's, you know, the way that people were Coi Leray. We were doing a article on her a couple weeks ago, and she's a very skinny woman. She was basically being like, yeah, I'm bringing skinny women back, and people are like, oh, fuck that shit, and I'm like, man, the skinny women do get shit in the rap industry. I'm not saying it's fair or they don't have privilege, but yeah. And I know what it was. It wasn't just Coi Leray. It was Pusha T's wife, who hasn't had any surgeries and stuff, and she was like, yeah, I used to feel insecure about the fact I don't have the body by the doctors, and I'm around all these rappers and all the girlfriends and all the women backstage got all that shit. And then eventually I realized, like, I'm into me, I love me, I'm the best, And I think that stuff does everyone's kind of subjected to that stuff, and people do stuff all the time, whether it's this or the people that are doing fucking diabetes drugs that don't got diabetes so they can lose weight.
Right.
It's it's clearly a thing. So I applaud her honesty about it, and we'll see what the repercussions are, because people really love commenting on other people's bodies.
Yeah, they do, because of their own insecurities about their own bodies a lot of times, whatever that insecurity is. And also, it goes back to the LGBTQ segment, because you know what she had was literally gender affirming surgery or some form of it. Mm-hmm. And people don't think about that because she's straight.
Right.
So people don't consider that, but that's the type of shit that they want to ban. But she has the right to get a BBL, to get breast implants. Like, that's the shit that they attack, shit that straight people do too. But they, quote unquote, they're going after the gays because they technically want to ban it all across the board.
Yeah. So, good luck to her.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of commenting on celebrities' bodies, Lizza claps back at social media trolls and continuously comment on her weight. Y'all need to touch grass.
Not touch the grass.
Yeah, I'll see this shit the same way though. A bunch of people mad about and commenting on, her constantly until it eventually she reacts, and then it starts to cycle all over again. Mm-hmm. Which is, gotta be exhausting.
Yes, sir.
She says, I'm not trying to be fat. I'm not trying to be small. I'm literally just trying to live and be healthy. This is what my body looks like, even when I'm eating super clean and working out. Y'all speak on shit y'all know nothing about, and I'm starting to get heated. I hate it here. The love definitely do not outweigh the hate on social media, all because I'm fat. This is crazy. Y'all don't know how close I be to giving up on everyone and quitting, enjoying my money and my man on a fucking farm. I literally never search my name. This stuff just comes on my timeline, and my FYP for you page is wild. I swear I just want to look at dance videos and science news, and that shit comes in every day. Also, to the people who haven't had an original thought of fresh air in years, being fat isn't my brand. Being fat is what my body looks. That's it. It's how what my body looks like. That's it. That's all. My brand is feel good music. My brand is championing all people. My brand is Black girl liberation. I've always led with my talent. Well, when I dropped Good as Hell, feel good music was corny. When I dropped Juice, disco pop wasn't for them. And when I was body positive in 2016, being body positive was pandering. Now everybody on that wave, and I'm still shit on, man. Fuck y'all. So, yep, I co-sign every word. But yes, she says it's really starting to make me hate the world. Then someone in my comments said I eat lots of fast food. I literally stopped eating fast food years ago. I'm tired of explaining myself all the time. I just want to get on this app without seeing my name and some bullshit. She continued. Yes, it's interesting too, because like if you ever see a concert or whatever, you can't do what she does. I guarantee whoever you are listening to this, except maybe Impossible White Man Jay, you can't get up there and do what she does for as long as she does it.
She's an athlete.
As often as she does it. I don't know what would need to happen for a person to be fat and for people to just let it go. What would need to happen? Because I don't know what you do when it's clearly this person they're doing their thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's like, what else do you need to see her body do to? It's almost like she'd be better off being skinny but smoking a pack of cigarettes every day, because at least she looks appropriate, and then it doesn't matter that she is a world-class athlete. Apparently, it just doesn't matter, because at least she looks the right way, and our eyes go, oh, that's fine now.
Yeah, and that is actually a lose-lose situation, just being a woman, and particularly in those situations, it's a lose-lose. If you are a smaller frame like Taylor Swift, you get criticized. If you big like Lizzo, you get criticized. If you somewhere in the middle, you still get criticized. Like, it's always something wrong, particularly with women, with your body. If you get breast implants, BBL, you get criticized. If you don't get them, you get criticized. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too light skinned, you're too dark skinned. It's something, your hair's too kinky, your hair's too straight. So you got to get to a point, just being just a regular ass person in your life, being comfortable in your own motherfucking skin, to be like, oh, this is who I am. Like, I'm calmer now since I'm older. But particularly when I was growing up and shit like that, I used to be really, really nasty and very vigilant and just mean to people when people would just come at me crazy, to the point where people just left me alone about it, because the point is, I don't give a fuck about your opinion and I don't want to hear it.
Right. So yeah, from SZA to Lizzo, everybody got something to say. Court grants Sackler family immunity in exchange for $6 billion opioid settlement. The Sackler family are the people that do the Purdue Pharma and are hugely responsible for the opioid epidemic.
Didn't we watch a documentary on that?
Yeah. I think it was called maybe The Pharmacist or something. But yeah, the settlement between the Sacklers in 8 states as well as the District of Columbia was initially agreed upon in March, and basically they won't go to jail. Purdue Pharma called Tuesday's ruling a victory, because when white people sell drugs, we got to make it legal.
Right.
Elizabeth Holmes, here's an update. She arrives at federal prison in Texas to begin her 11-year sentence. I've never seen so many updates on a motherfucker going to jail in my life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Nigga, is you there or not? She tried to get pregnant. They was like, bitch, we don't care. You're still going to jail.
My Apple News app was letting me know, like, Elizabeth Holmes uses bathroom for last time before heading to jail. Elizabeth Holmes stops by McDonald's to get hot coffee for the last time. Elizabeth Holmes hugs her children for the last time. Elizabeth Holmes binges Succession for the last time. Like, go to jail.
What's this delay?
Damn, this woman ain't the most interesting inmate of all time. Go to jail. Okay, Martha Stewart did it way classier than this.
Come on, like a boss.
Take your ass to jail. We don't care.
Don't care.
Lastly, Al Pacino, 83, is expecting a child with a 29-year-old girlfriend, Nora Alfala.
83? Woo!
Yeah, it's the 83 for you, huh? Not the 29.
Oh, the 29 is trying to be taken care of for life, 83, he gonna be out of here soon.
Okay, it's interesting because out like him and De Niro both just had children recently with younger women. People always go like, I don't understand, why would you? And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I do understand, and I think y'all do too, and I think y'all like to play dumb.
Right.
An 83-year-old man in general, on average in the world, not getting offered 29-year-old sex, period. So there's a handful of them. It's like being a billionaire. A handful of them on the planet that 29-year-old woman would sleep with a wrinkly ass 83-year-old man. And obviously for the women in this case, we're talking about 29-year-old, 30-year-old people. They are like, if I'm gonna be fucking a man, I'd rather be fucking a rich 83-year-old that might be on the brink of death and having a baby with him. If I'm, the brand of man is low, the bar is low, I can see making some compromises. You
ain't got to do it that often.
I guarantee you, it's not like these women have a type. Like, they're not going down to the old folks home fucking every 83-year-old. It's not a fetish. They going, man, well, how many 83-year-old Al Pacino ass rich motherfuckers are there that's gonna give me that DNA code to unlock this bank account?
Come on, and when they die, I'll be set for life, me and my baby.
Yeah, and honestly, don't listen to any men that pretend to be disgusted by this. I don't trust them.
Nope, because
I always feel
they could do it too, they would.
If men could be trapping women that had money if it worked the other way around, where old women was walking around like, I need to have a baby by a 29-year-old man, so many men would jump on that shit and be like, I'm set for life. All I gotta do is be a kept nigga. Absolutely, I'll do it. They just don't have the option in the most part, at least among straight people. They don't have the option in that way. So don't trust them. So I do get what's in it. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying it's my thing, but they can sit in the doors. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yes, sir.
But that being said, is Al Pacino and Bobby De Niro having some sort of like nuclear arms race situation? Like, are they trying? Because I saw people putting them together on Twitter. They were like saying which one was the most fuckable and all this shit. And I wonder if they like, if it got back to them and they said, you know what, I'm first one to have a baby, win.
We didn't even know it was a competition.
Whoever had the most babies, you win. That's maybe they
before you leave here, you win.
Yeah, I don't know. Al Pacino is like, just when I try to get out, I leave it back in.
Apparently so.
Oh man. Anyway, good luck to them. I mean, the good news is by the time the kid graduates, they'll be set for life. Won't have to worry about that. And then the hugest news of the day, the reason we even did a podcast today, Kim Cattrall is returning as Samantha Jones to And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City.
They got her to come back.
They got her to come back.
Ooh,
I can't believe it.
That check must have been nice.
I can't believe it.
White people do.
Oh my God.
That check must have been nice because she was like, the fuck I look like coming back.
Yeah. I guess she's doing a cameo. She shot her dialogue on March 22nd in New York City without seeing or speaking with the stars of the series, including Sarah Jessica Parker, or with the And Just Like That showrunner, Michael Patrick King.
Nice. That was in her contract. She was like, I'm only coming back under these stipulations. Mm-hmm. And you better what is it? Zelle me. Direct deposit.
In the And Just Like That first season, her and Carrie texted. And they made a plan to see each other to reconcile. But good. I guess Max canceling all the shows, but they found the money for Samantha.
They did. Shout out to getting that paycheck.
I know she's gonna be laid up with some young man.
Mm-hmm. Somebody pool boy breaking that back.
Getting her Al Pacino on.
Mm-hmm.
Abs everywhere, I'm sure. But all right, let's wrap this thing up. We got a late start tonight. And as promised, we didn't do that many episodes this week. And we may go into next week and do 2 more episodes and then do a feedback show next Saturday.
Okay.
That's my thoughts right now. But
yeah, because looking at the schedule,
yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I do want to give you guys something that I know y'all want. Okay, do a little bit of guess the race. I know that's big for y'all.
What time is it? It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right, guess the race time. Let's go. Texas teens charged over fart spray prank that sickened fellow students and evacuated the school.
What the fuck is a fart spray?
A pair of Texas teens have been charged with felonies for allegedly unleashing a noxious fart spray inside their home school as a prank, sickening students and triggering multiple evacuations earlier this. Oh, I'm in high school, not homeschool, but multiple evacuations.
Good at the house.
Yeah. If you did it at homeschool, the parents would shoot you.
Right.
Following an investigation, who's on the fart police CSI?
I know that fart.
Yeah.
That one came from a can.
Sounds like someone did a spray and pray.
I was gonna say spray and dash.
This one seems like it was silent and deadly. Who's our number one suspect? Well, who's the first person that found out? Because whoever smelt it, dealt it.
That's I can see they walking in. This smells like a shitty situation. Crack me up. That's good.
A pair of Texas teens. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, following the investigation, police arrested David Navarrete Arce. And Arce, is that really his last name? Navarrete Arce? Because no, that means ass in England. He's 17, and Diego Flores, he's 18 on May 12th, charging him with possession of a prohibited weapon, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Oh
shit!
Only in Texas. They would got less time for bringing a gun to school.
True.
Both youngsters have since been released on $3,000 bond. On May 3rd, a strong gas-like odor was detected in the high school, prompting firefighters to evacuate all students. Class resumed the next day, but around noon, the school was evacuated a second time due to the same foul odor. The building remained closed until May 5th, when the stomach turn to smell finally dissipated. School officials said 6 students were hospitalized after complaining of headaches and nausea. At least 8 others reported feeling ill. Hazardous material crews spent 3 days scouring the campus with gas detection equipment, but were unable to find any leaks that could explain the stench. Then one student allegedly confessed to bringing what Kearney Creek Fire and Rescue described as a statement as a highly concentrated prank stink spray called Hensgout fart spray. The spray is marketed online as a gag toy that creates a smell like real poo and fake vomit. According to an arrest affidavit, police reviewed the security footage and saw them walking with students around him. Navarrete Arce walking with students around him who could be seen recoiling and covering their noses and mouths. The video shows him appearing to drop and pick up an item and shows the item in his hand appearing to be a small spray can. When interviewed by the police, the high school senior admitted to spraying the chemical on several parts of school, then handed it to another student whom he refused to name.
Several parts of school, so you went like around the campus.
Yeah. Shout out to him being stand-up and not naming his accomplice. He allegedly said Flores had a can of the same spray, which was confiscated by a teacher on the day of the first evacuation. So there you go. Care gets the race.
What are the names again?
David Navarrete Arce and Diego Flores.
Both same race.
Same race, yeah.
Latino, Hispanic.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Gassy Latino. Don't Be a Horse's Arse Latino. Essence of the Trailer Park by Calvin Klein. White Passing Latino. Nostro Diablos Latino. Carrying his dead brother who died on the boat ride over Hispanic. God damn. Latino. Doo-doo brown Latino. Fart smells like tacos. Makes it the correct answer is Latino. And I'll even give the person said white passing Latino. One of them does look like white passing, not him. That's David Navarrete Arce. But he could pass, I think. Mm-hmm. But that's Diego Flores. So I even give everybody credit.
Got them cuts, super cuts.
I mean, he looked like he carried fart spray on him.
He do, don't he?
He keep that on always on me. All right, let's go to the next one. A Miami cop beats up cheating boyfriend with help from his pregnant lover.
Oh, okay. Okay.
An off-duty Florida cop was arrested for allegedly teaming up with the pregnant woman to beat the guy who had been dating both of them at the same time.
Oh!
Coming up next, the
confrontation. Yes, that's what's about to happen. Yeah, we would like to know why. You could have just told the truth. All I was trying to say was you don't never be there. I mean, damn, you always working. I'm working because I'm trying to take care of you. I don't care. What about me?
Miami-Dade officer Anna Alicia Perez, 34, and Mila Zuluaga, 35, both faced battery charges after they confronted their boyfriend. They unknowingly shared a Palmetto Bay restaurant they unknowingly shared at a Palmetto Bay restaurant on Friday after midnight. I do love when the mistress when the side chick and the main woman link up. I do love it. I do love it. I can't help it. The man who has yet to be identified was cornered by the two women inside Miller's Ale House, as they yelled at him about the infidelity, with the tense scene escalating with Perez and Zuluoga beating him.
Cheat us, cheat us, cheat us, cheat us. Woo! That's all you're going to hear in the background.
Police said both women struck the man multiple times in the face and torso, leaving him with bruises in the injured lower lip. It remains unclear if the women agreed beforehand to confront their boyfriend or if they stumbled upon him with the other by chance inside the restaurant. I mean, if it's just by chance, that's the most unluckiest cheating. And
ever.
He got to be the dumbest cheater of all time because he clearly be frequent in places they both go. Police noted that while Perez was dating the man, he shared a home with Zuluoga, who is 7 months pregnant. Yeah. Miami-Dade Police Director Alfredo Ramirez said the department is working with the state's attorney's office to investigate the incident regarding the officer, who has since been placed on leave with pay pending the review of the case. I'm disappointed by the officer's actions, Ramirez said in a statement. We are held to a higher standard of conduct on and off duty. Although this officer was off duty, her behavior was unacceptable and it goes against the core values.
Like, I ain't got no badge on.
Right.
You are not under arrest.
I just clocked out. Zuluoga.
Instead of catching the case, you'll catch these hands.
Zuluoga was transferred to the Miami-Dade Police Department Special Victims Bureau, while Perez was taken to the TGK Detention Center. That's the race.
What the name of the people?
Anna Alicia Perez and Mala Zuluoga.
Them sound like Latin names.
All right. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe. They open up a can of whoop ass. Oh, yeah. Cardi B, eat that ass, Hispanic, Latin World Order, Team Rey Mysterio, Rock'em Sock'em Latinas. Let me take off this badge and gun, and we can handle this like adults. Okay, it's not a race. Latinas, Anchor Baby Parent, Antics, Hispanic. Oh wow, Miss Mars in the racist zone today. Correct answer is Latina. Y'all got it right. Kind of tight. They look like they could be like cousins or something.
He got it tight.
You know, they definitely, and they also both look like they will whoop your ass. To be frank, you know.
Oh, they knew that.
Yeah, like he got that. Like when they came in together, he just knew like, oh fuck, I'm getting my ass beat today. Yeah. This one's on me, guys.
Let me just ball up.
Right. Sorry about y'all's restaurant. But yeah, I'm definitely.
Hey, somebody come in, they got face gonna be blurred out the camera. You gotta take this outside. Get out my restaurant.
Bitch was why? I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to
gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
A Vancouver business owner shared footage of an odd break-in at her bakery. The owner of Sweet Something Bakery uploaded video surveillance footage to TikTok of a man who entered her business around 3 a.m. The man had lingered outside of the business for around 20 minutes, according to a social media video, before smashing the glass and entering the bakery. He then proceeded to bring out a mop from the back of the bakery and tidied up the broken glass. Respectful king, we love to see it, joked the business owner. The man also took several selfies on the store phone in a pair of orange sunglasses before leaving with 6 cupcakes. I hope they're good. Next time, just ask. We'll be happy to give you the 6 cupcakes, she said.
Right, that's cheaper than breaking my goddamn window.
The bakery owner notes the man was inside the store for approximately an hour and 10 minutes. The Vancouver Police Department tells VIA that the incident remains under investigation. No arrests have been made. Well, hopefully the cupcake CSI people be on top of this. The the next day, the bakery owner unveiled a new menu item: a pink champagne cupcake, uh, with a cookie decorated as part of an orange sunglasses on top. The new dessert is called the Crime of Passion Cupcake. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. She
That's what I'm
captured in a
talking
TikTok
about.
story. So yeah, that's
Great sense of humor. Might as well make some money off of it. Somebody got definitely got to get fixed somehow.
guess the race of the thief. We have him on video. Karen.
You don't have his name, do you? No.
Nope, they haven't caught him yet. Just know what he looks like.
I am going to go white.
All right, let's check the chat room. He got the sugars black, cleaned up after himself. He's a polite white Canadian, profiting off their pain. White. Looks like everyone's going white. Snap, crackle, and stolen white. Black man stealing cupcakes for his kid's birthday. Psychotic episode, and they making jokes. White, melanated gentleman. The correct answer is white. I think one person said black. Surprised nobody said vanilla.
Those cupcakes are adorable. I would buy them. But the fact that they was in there an hour and a half, white. You're just chilling in the bakery an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I mean, not an hour and a half, but an hour and 10 minutes.
This is the video. I don't know if y'all can see him, but he's clearly looks like a white
Is he
dude.
drunk?
I don't know, but he was in there chilling for real. Like he had no fear of being caught. Like he was like, "Yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good up in here." So yeah, yeah. And of course, doesn't seem like anybody's too pressed to press charges and get them up out of the street. So,
Right.
I guess they got insurance on the window. They'll be fine. Easy advertising, if anything. All right, sword ratchet this time. Let's do this. And I just realized this is gonna be one of those videos I have to open up in Firefox because.
Oh, and I don't think we're gonna have a balls deep this week.
Yeah. No balls deep this
Yeah.
week. Just couldn't get the schedules to work. But yeah, we'll be back next week for that. Still got a Nerd Out Friday, and y'all probably get a movie review of Into the Spider-Verse too tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the sword ratchetness. Oh wait, that's not gonna work. Hold on, give me a second. I think I gotta share.
I have to share it a certain way.
Window. Actually, let's try something. Let's see if I share my window this way. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this audio. Okay, so they can't hear it that way. All right, cool. It's good to find out. We'll try a different way. Real quick. Learning here. Let's see, screen, window. Okay, this one I believe should work. Let's do it again.
Police arrested and charged a man for stabbing a man to death with a sword there. It happened Friday in an apartment complex on Brooks Drive in District Heights. Police say they got a call about a man being attacked in the hallway, and when they arrived, 33-year-old Aaron Bynum was in the lobby holding a sword. Officers say they later located 63-year-old Anthony Cunningham and found him with multiple stab wounds, and he died there. Detectives say both the suspect and the victim lived in the building, but it's still not clear if they knew each other or what led up to the violence.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah, man, and it seemed to be a black person too. So a lot of y'all would have lost guess the race on this. But yeah, and it's Maryland, so is that
Be safe.
Yeah. Like, is that PG County? Yeah, it's PG County. So I don't know, man. Y'all, these swords, we got to get them out
Be
the
safe
street.
in PG County.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. All right, y'all. That's it for this episode. We'll be back. Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everyone.